Good afternoon, everyone. This is David Thompson and
Mike Ward.
Mike Ward. We are the creators of the Rock Star Custodian program. Last month, exactly 30 days ago, we had the pleasure of introducing and recognizing Mr. Leroy Harper as the 2022 Rock Star Custodian of the Year. Now, this is a national award. And just before we get Leroy on, now you can see Leroy, but I'm going to say a few things before he gets started talking because I know he's got a lot to say. Now, the thing here is you wrote the book.
Who swings your mop? Who swings your mop?
We got to get close so we can get the
Who
mic.
swings your mop? We're Sonny and Cher. For people
Who's Sonny? Who's Cher?
I'm Sonny. You're Cher.
Oh, no, wait a minute. I don't know if I agree with that. All right. So the thing is Mike Ward wrote the book.
Right.
And it's got 9 personality traits.
Right.
What are they? Okay, so see, there's 9 personality traits, and it's the word custodian broken down. Now, over a year ago, somebody nominated Leroy Harper. But in October of last year, Leroy Harper was selected as a finalist, and there were 5 of them.
Right.
And of those 5, hundreds of thousands of votes, over 120,000 votes, Mike.
Right.
That's a lot.
Yep.
And we get this every year. But you know what? The interesting thing was?
What's that?
Of the 120,000 votes, the community of Chesapeake Bay, Virginia, voted 42,198 times for Mr. Leroy Harper,
Wow.
the National Rock Star Custodian of 2022. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
We're so proud to be able to make this award every year. Did you really think that when you wrote the book that this would be happening?
No. And I couldn't think. It wouldn't happen without you, Dave.
Well, hey, I mean,
you took it to a whole nother level, and it's just a great thing to recognize our great rock star custodians out there because they deserve it. And we don't get enough positive recognition. And I just love it that Leroy is being recognized for our 4th one, right?
4th one, right.
Rock star custodian. Yep. So awesome stuff.
So, Leroy, you've just been sitting there very quietly, very patiently. But you know what? I remember 30 days ago, there's that smile. There's that smile, folks. There's that smile. It was plastered all over your face 30 days ago. Has it left your face, Leroy?
No, sir. It's still there.
So what, the reason we've got you on here with us is we want to hear what that day was like, what you thought, and what has the last 30 days been like?
Well, first and foremost, I have to give honor to God first, who is the head of my life. And just want to thank y'all for inviting me again. And that's a shout out to Dr. Cotton, who is the head of the superintendent of SAB, all the custodian staff, Mr. Warren, who is the retired, and to Mr. Holmes and the rest of the custodian team. Mr. Warren acknowledged me, and I really didn't know nothing about it. And so it's kind of strange. You never know what other people see in you. So, I just want to thank him for recognizing me and putting me in there for the award. The day of the award, I was really shocked because I thought I was coming to the school for a meeting. And lo and behold,
as I understand it, Leroy, you even tried to call out that day, and they had to convince you that you weren't supposed to be at home, but you were supposed to be at school, were you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was the night before. I actually got home from work around 4 o'clock, and all of a sudden my phone rings, and it's Leroy Harper saying, "Mr. Holmes, I can't make it tomorrow. I can't make it." And he didn't allude to why he couldn't make it. And normally, he may say so. I couldn't dig into it, but I started to panic. I said, "Oh boy, we've got to some work to do. So I called the principal immediately, and we started brainstorming, to make sure that he was going to be there for the event. But it was tough. But I think we worked through everything within an hour.
Yeah. And on that
Leroy,
day,
you had no idea. You didn't know all this was going on behind the scenes. You didn't. You just wanted to be gone, huh?
yes, sir, I really didn't. And as we were saying, things went very well, very, very well. Um, my family was there. As first and foremost, the principal was there, and all the people from Hickory High School, the kids, my wife, all my family was there. Some of my church family was there, and some of the friends from other various schools was there. So it was really a big surprise, and it was an honor. It was a very good honor. First and foremost, just to be recognized, and just to win an award. It's really been pleasant. I've been getting shout outs from not only the Hickory staff, but various schools around Chesapeake Public Schools and from Norfolk schools, Virginia Beach schools. It's just been a pleasure. People just reaching out to me, and a lot of the kids that really didn't know me, but they know my name. And even one of the schools that I'm working at now, Grassfield Elementary School, the kids recognize me, and that's been an honor. The teachers as well. It's been very pleasant. And I'm just a little guy on the totem pole. So it's still nice. It's nice to be awarded, and I couldn't do it without myself. With myself, I just want to give a shout out to my staff, because without them, man, it's hard to do it by yourself. So with them, we get the job done, and just to make the kids happy, and the parents. First and foremost, we're there for the kids, to make the kids happy, to get them to the next level. And so I'm honored just to be honored, be recognized.
That's awesome. So give us a little history, Leroy. How many years have you been a custodian, and how did you work your way out? Tell us a little bit about your career.
Well, I've been here for 12 years. I started out at working at various schools till I got a full-time position at Great Bridge Middle School. So I worked there for like going on 6 years, and I've been at Hickory for the last six years, and I only been on like a head for like maybe 4 years. But I mean, I know the work, and you gotta love what you do, and I just love being around people. I'm a kind of people person,
Yeah.
And I'll actually say, no, I was going to actually say that, Leroy said he's been a head custodian for 4 years now, and he's been at Hickory High School. And one of the things he did was he turned Hickory High School around. That was not what we call a gold school, but now it's received the Gold Custodial Award the past 4 years. So just an outstanding job with not just the look of the store, but we don't have HR issues there. We don't have cleaning concerns or anything like that. So great communicator, team loves him, and do whatever the man asks him to do.
Leroy, how large is the team that you work with now?
I have a staff of 12 people, two in the morning and 10 at night, including with myself. So, it's a very big school. So we get the job done,
So you can't retire this year because you're too popular now.
Not yet, sir. No, not yet. Somewhere down the road.
Let me ask you, is that a staff of 12 or is that a family of staff?
Well, I like to say it's a family, because we all consider ourselves as being family, and I say that because we are there majority of the time, and at night from 3:30 to midnight. So basically, I really don't see my family till like on the weekends. So we consider ourselves as being a family,
That's a big reason why you were selected as the Rock Star Custodian, because you got to understand that is a key component, that you're a family, you're in it together.
Yes.
You got to stick together.
Yes, sir.
I love that.
Yes, yes, sir.
So James, you came in, and whenever we selected Leroy, you didn't even know he was in the running. You didn't even know anything about this. Explain what happened to you right when you found out.
Yeah, again, I had no idea that Leroy had been nominated. So I was quite shocked. And I was like, well, I'm not sure what I should be doing next. But I did partner with our communication team after talking with you. And I can definitely say between the two parties, you, Mr. Thompson, and our communication departments helped bring everything together. And I think, that was the success of merging the two parties together. When I looked at those 9 personality traits and I read what Mr. Warren wrote, I was like, ditto to that. I fully agree. That's Mr. Harper. So I think I kind of took the lead and said, hey, we have to get this thing out there. And I tried to rally my staff of custodians, which is about 350, to get on board and spread the word throughout the city.
Now, folks, if you have watched the video, the live stream that we did 30 days ago of the presentation, one of the things that I thought was so very powerful was the people that got involved and had the 9 personality traits down the hall. Leroy, when you saw those, what did you think?
Man, it was just an honor. It was great. I felt like crying. I was crying on the inside. I was trying to hold it together because, as I said, I was coming there just to thought I was coming there for a meeting, and all of a sudden, all this happened when I stepped out of the office with Dr. Weingame, and it seemed like from step to step, they had some pleasure to say concerning me, and it was just an honor. It was an honor.
There had to be something like 40 people involved in all of putting this together and keeping a huge secret from you.
Yes, sir. And it was a big secret because I had no idea. I mean, this was the second time that I got surprised. It was always something different that they set up. And my mind was on something else, trying to get the school right. And they really surprised me very well. So they kept a secret for a long time. So
it did get to the point. I think it was a week. Was it 1 week before the actual presentation that you called me? I think I called you and asked you to do something, and you said, "Mr. Holmes, have you heard anything about the award?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh boy!"
Yeah.
But I reacted quickly, and I said, I felt that after I told him, I said, "No, I haven't heard anything. I was wondering what's going on myself." I said, "But I'll try to find out." But I think I made him believe that I really didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, and because on top of that, everywhere I was going that people was asking me, "Have you won yet? Have you won yet?" I said, "No, I haven't heard anything yet." I said, as far as I know, I won, but I'm not for sure. Well, I'd be glad when they let you know. So
Now from what you're telling us today is every school district around Chesapeake knows Leroy Harper for something good.
Yes, sir. Not only around Chesapeake, but very restaurants knows Mr. Harper. The department stores. It seems like everywhere I go, somebody knows Mr. Harper, or they have seen me on YouTube, or somewhere that knows my family. They say, "Is that Mr. Harper? Is he any kin to you?" And they would say, "Yes, he is." So my name is spread around. Yes, sir.
You signing autographs too?
Yes, sir. Pro autographs as well.
Fans?
Yes.
So if you had any advice for anybody about what it takes to be a rock star custodian, what is the one thing that really sticks out to you, Leroy?
Well, my thing is just to be honest, be truthful to what you say, what you do, and most and foremost, give respect. You have to give respect to earn respect. So that's the first and foremost. And let's do what's right. That's the best thing. Do what's right. And I'm not somebody that's on top of the hill because I might be the head custodian, but I listen to the ones are beside me that work along with me, ideals. I'm not just try to be the big person.
Right. You get your hands dirty too, right?
Yes, sir. I'm grinding along with them. Yes, sir.
So I always tell people, do what's right, even when nobody's looking.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I love it.
Hey, James, I got to ask a question here because, Leroy's got so much notoriety now. Is it going to be hard to work with him for the rest of the year?
No, it's actually easier to work with him now because I can use that you are a rock star custodian to get him to do a little more for me. And I plan on having him attend some. We're going to take him along, Dave, to some job fairs and some trainings and that we're going to go to for equipment and products. So yeah, we're going to take him out and about a little more than he has in the past.
Sorry, Leroy, I didn't mean to create more work for you.
Yes, sir. You put me on the spot. Yes, sir.
I don't think that was our goal, was it, Mike?
No.
So, there's still the nominations for 2023. James, is Leroy going to help you pick somebody? Because just because he won one year doesn't mean you can't, do a double on it.
That's true. We haven't talked about it. I have thought about it, but again, that is definitely a conversation we should talk about because we do have a lot of other Leroy Harpers within our department and in our school system.
So, folks, here's one of the things I want to tell you. If you're watching this broadcast live with us this afternoon, or if you're watching the recorded version of it, there is a rock star custodian that we nominate every year. And it comes from, or we recognize them, but it comes from the nominations, like what James is just talking about. So what would be the advice to the people that are listening to this? They're going, oh, well, we'll never win. They won't happen. It takes too much time. What's your advice to those people that are going to do the nominations?
I don't think it takes a lot of time. I think we owe it to our custodians, those ones who are on the front line, doing that hard work. Whenever there's work that someone else won't do, a lot of times it's the custodian that they call to do that. So I think with Leroy winning this award, I think it has done a tremendous amount of brought a lot of awareness to our department where we really needed that, and now, we feel like we belong on a lot of different aspects, and, we often, are shorthanded, but we still get the job done. So I would say to those, nominate someone. These gentlemen and ladies work very hard, and they deserve the attention that they would receive for being, nominated by the for the Academy of Cleaning Excellence Award. So I would encourage others who sit in a position similar to mine as a supervisor to do that for your staff.
Absolutely. The thing is that when the two of us got together and said, hey, let's do this, we had an idea. Sorry, guys, it gets a little emotional for me too, because when we put it together, we really didn't know what would happen. We didn't know if anybody would actually buy into it. Hey, just two guys thinking that, hey, we want to recognize people for doing the right thing. I think we got 2 new spokespeople.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, you do. You do. And, Dave, you and I have talked a little bit about what are some of the other things that we can do. And I would like to continue those discussions going forward about what are some of the things that, the Academy could help, Chesapeake Public Schools and our staff with.
Well, and if you're listening, folks, you're wondering what James is talking about here. There's actually 5 parts to the Rock Star Custodian program that you wrote, Mike, and we put it into format, and we go around the country. There's 2 sessions that are for the frontline custodians, and then there's 3 sessions that are for supervisors. Right. And one of those is how to build a rock star family.
That's right. And it sounds like Leroy could actually teach that class.
You know what? Maybe we don't have to do this by ourselves anymore. And the thing is, there's only one problem.
What's that?
He's got to talk more like us.
Can you do that, Leroy?
Yes, sir. I'm listening. I hear you.
Yeah, well, you hear us, but see, we're going to have you talk because, that's part of the job of being a spokesperson. You got to talk a lot.
Well, whatever it takes, sir. Whatever it takes, I will try my best to do.
Are you in the choir at church?
Yes, I'm not in a choir, but yes, I go to church. Yes, sir.
Okay. I was going to say, get in the choir. That'll get you comfortable, be in front of people, and God will help you do the rest.
All right. Yes. First and foremost. Yes.
So before we let you go, I want to find out what's next for Leroy Harper. I mean, is there anything more you can achieve?
But I really don't know. I'm just Leroy. So, I'm looking forward to, retiring. Don't know how soon. And to be with my family and my grandbabies. As I said in my first speech, I love my grandbabies. And just to see them prosper. But first and foremost, prosper with the man of God. And then wherever he leads them to, I want to be there by their side to, encourage them to get to the next level. Whatever they decide to do, that's one of my goals, just to continue to live with my family, be with my family, and see my grandkids to get to the next level.
Now, Nikki, who won the very first one, she said, just remind every one of the persons that follow me that I'm still number one.
I hear that.
But you know what? I gotta think at Chesapeake City Schools that Leroy Harper, and as you said, the restaurants, the drugstore, everywhere else, I think Leroy Harper's number one.
All right now. I appreciate that, sir.
Folks, if you're listening to this, we want you to go to, there's two different websites you can go to, rockstarsofcleaning.com. You'll find the nomination form there that James talked about. Take the time to nominate somebody for what you've just seen. There's somebody out there in your organization that deserves this recognition, don't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Leroy, I just want to say one last thing. You are a perfect role model for what the Rock Star Custodian needs. So thank you very much for that.
Well, thank you, sir.
The other website, folks, is not only Rock Stars of Cleaning, but academyofcleaning.com. Either one of those. Now, the nominations are open from right now, which is now March the 23rd, until the 1st of October. On the 1st of October, we'll pick another 5 finalists for this year. Those 5 finalists will go out to nationwide voting. And who knows, you might have the next 42,000 vote winner. Thank you, Leroy.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr.